What's going on, all you fantastic freelancers? William here, and I hope you all had a great week. Today we're going to be covering this week's top 40 tweets to the Anthem development team. These tweets aren't listed in any special order aside from when the tweet was written. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first tweet of the week is for Mark Dara regarding items in the pre-order. The question was asked if the pre-order bonuses will remain exclusive or if they will be purchasable, earnable, whatever, in a few months after the release, to which Mark replied they will remain exclusive to the pre-order. The next question was if there will be saved loadouts for javelins that can be switched in between in 2 and 4 and whatever, to which Mark replied that there would be loadouts. It's still unknown how many loadouts will be given, but it's safe to say it'll be more than one for now. SW asks if there will be any chance that combos can be made while playing solo, to which Mark stated that there would be. And that makes a lot of sense. Say your ranger throws an ice grenade and then proceeds to melee or use an explosive attack, it would make sense that that would count as a combo. The next tweet was in regards to skipping through cutscenes, and if you were in a group and a member wanted to skip that cutscene, would it skip for you as well? Mark replied that any cutscenes that the player will see are unskippable. The next one gave me a little bit of a chuckle in regards to how freelancers will be paid in the game from the official BioWare account. Now, you might be wondering who Lazer's digital art is, and so sorry if I'm butchering your name. Laz is a freelancer who has been creating some absolutely incredible fan art for Anthem, and I highly encourage you all go take a look at his Twitter and art sharing pages. Links will be in the description. Heyo asked if there will be some type of vision assist such as light, night vision, heat sensors, and so on for javelins when it gets dark out or they go into a cave. Mark replied that the suits do have light sources, which is good to hear. Another question was asked about the day and night cycles in an instance/server. Mark tweeted back that he couldn't remember the exact number, but a full cycle is approximately less than an hour. This question especially interests me, which asked if there will be different melee weapons, and will melee-focused builds be a viable option for combat? Mark replied that there will be no melee-only builds at launch, which makes sense. But never say never. The next one is a bit of a 2-in-1. During the gameplay teaser, it was pointed out that there was a blue bar over the yellow health bar. A fan asked if it was a stamina bar or something else, to which Mark replied that it was instead a shield meter. This spawned another question asking if the shields regenerate, which Mark replied that they would. Now, I'll just save Mark from ever having to answer this question again. There will be no PvP at launch. This doesn't mean never, however. Daniel Royalty asked how legendary consumables will work, such as the legendary grenades seen used by the Ranger. Now, Mark replied that they weren't consumables, but rather a gear slot for the Rangers exclusively. But from what I understand, yes, they do replenish with time. The next one is from Parker Wolfork, who asks if you kill something in the world, will it respawn right in front of you if you wait long enough, or will you have to leave the area and come back? This time, Jonathan Warner replied, stating that the enemies won't respawn right in front of you, and that you won't have to leave the entire area for them to come back. The next question also goes to Jonathan, with a fan asking if we can crouch. Jonathan answers that is not possible because you're a really big javelin. This effectively removes crouch/cover combat from the equation, which is a refreshing choice. Dakota asks if you can damage yourself with elemental attacks such as setting yourself on fire or freezing yourself. Luckily, for many players, you will be unable to damage yourself with these types of attacks. This next tweet reveals that the fantastic talent known as Nick Terababe will be playing our crippled mentor and friend, Halleck. One voice actor confirmed, many more to go. The next tweet asks if there are more elemental types in Anthem. So far, we've seen fire, ice, and lightning. Are there going to be more than those 3 in the combat system? To which Jonathan replies that there will be a few more, and assures us that we will be learning more about them soon. Another question I'll save the team from ever having to answer again is the size of the damage displays. BioWare has confirmed that you can change the size, remove it altogether, etc., etc. The next question that was asked was in regards to the stealth mechanic and if it's going to be in Anthem, and if so, will we be able to mold our character around this mechanic? Jonathan replied that they will be discussing it in a bit and to hang tight for now. Another question we're going to stamp out for all time is the issue of loot crates. Anthem will not feature these demented little boxes, and will instead opt for cosmetics and only cosmetics that can be bought with their premium currency. The next question asks if Anthem will be pulling a Destiny 2 in regards to equipping only one top-tier item at a time, to which Mark replies that he doesn't think that we will only be able to equip one at a time. Frank Goodall asked if there will be a limit to the funds that we will be able to carry. The answer to your question being no. This means we won't be stuck at that 9999999 until you spend some of your hard-earned currency, or worse, waste it to clear inventory space. One of my favorite questions on this list asks if cosmetics that are in the premium store can be earned as well as purchased. The answer speaks for itself, and this makes me incredibly happy to hear. But this next tweet states that the entire point of having two currencies is having items you can only buy with one currency exclusively. Mark replies that there will be things that you can only buy with earned currency and not purchasable with premium currency. The next tweet puts my mind at ease in regards to loot and prize stealing. Ammo, health, and weapon drops won't be a free-for-all type deal. I believe I read somewhere that all loot and items are in separate instances for each player, but drop in the same spot. Another question for the endgame store. Eric asked if you can use real money to instantly get what other players spent hours earning, aka what Battlefront 2 was at launch. Mark replied that you cannot purchase anything that affects gameplay, which I read includes items such as XP boosts or direct weapon purchases, aka strictly cosmetic. The next tweet asks about what happens when your health bar hits 0. Do you need to be revived, or do you fail the mission? Mark simply replied that you can either be revived by teammates or return to the last resupply point. Another pre-order question to which a fan asked if there will be a collector's edition. Mark replied that the two that are currently out, the normal version and the Legion of Dawn version, are the only ones that are planned. The next question was a really cool idea, and I would love to see it implemented one day. Chance asks if there will be any weapons that will replace the Javelin's hand, like a Mega Man style cannon or a minigun arm. While these are really cool ideas and I could get behind that cause immediately, Mark stated that those weapon types do not currently exist. For all you map breakers and explorers, it looks like Anthem has you in mind. Spencer Price asks if we could technically fly straight up a waterfall the entire length of it, and would there be hidden areas with puzzle-like mechanics to reach otherwise unreachable areas. Jonathan Warner happily replied that it would be possible. This one should be obvious, but Anthem will not be releasing on Xbox 360. It and the PS3 are last-gen consoles, and I doubt anything will be coming out on them ever again. The next question asked if Anthem would be a split-screen capable game, to which Mark answered that it wouldn't be. From an optimization standpoint, it is a completely different problem set from internet multiplayer. The next question comes from Toast, asking if you are full on health in any javelin, is there a certain altitude that is instantly lethal to fall from? Mark replied that currently, if you are full on health with full shields, he doesn't think that you can do enough fall damage to kill yourself. Piggybacking off of that, a fan asked if there was a maximum velocity javelins could reach while in flight. Mark's answer says it all. The next question comes from Nova Link Birthday Hat, asking if we can choose which javelins we unlock next. Mark replied that you can choose and there wouldn't be a specific unlock order. I'm coming for you first, Storm. Another question regarding fall damage from overheated thrusters. Will you take damage if you hit the water, or do you just dive into it? Mark currently doesn't know what happens as of right now, but either way, talk about the worst belly flop of all time. Continuing on with the thruster questions, Dragon Slayer Master Rogue asks if your engines overheat and your trajectory takes you through a waterfall, will you be able to start the engines again right away, or will you have to land first? This is a cool mechanic idea, to which Mark says that you could restart your thrusters immediately. Yang CJ asks if Anthem will have Chinese. Mark replied that they will be talking languages later. Second to last, we have a question regarding mission joins. WolfKid07 asks if a friend joins you in a mission, do they complete the mission in their storyline too, or do they have to redo it to earn the completion? Mark replies that they will also complete it, which is fantastic to hear. I would hate to have to play a mission with my buddy and then have to go back and do it over again for him as well. It is fitting that the last tweet is a cross-platform question. I go on Twitter 3 times a day. When I wake up, at lunch, and before I go to bed, to start compiling my tweet list for the week. I think I've seen the crossplay question asked more times than anything else, and it's been answered just as many times. There are currently no plans for crossplay. Just do yourself a favor. Google why there's no crossplay, and you will find your answer pretty quickly. Anyways, that's all for this week's Dev Tracking Roundup. I didn't intend for there to be so many tweets, but there was a lot to cover for the first episode. My hope is that you freelancers learned something about your game. I plan on doing one of of these type of videos every Sunday, so be sure to like and subscribe for more. And leave a comment to let us know what you want to see next. I hope all you fantastic freelancers have a phenomenal week coming up next, and I hope to see you all in the next video.